Hey guys, how's everyone doing? This is Mr. Randall. I hope everyone's staying healthy, staying clean. But kind of what goes with this new normal that we're looking at is we're going to be doing a lot of our learning remotely. At least for this week, we'll be doing that. So, without further ado, we're going to continue math class. So, what we're talking about now in class is going to be statistics. And really all that statistics are, at least what we'll cover, is mean, median, mode, range, and interquartile range. These words might mean something to you, they might not. If they do, good. If you have a good idea of what some of these words mean, good. But if you don't worry. We're here to help. We're all going to learn this together. So, looking at today. First, what we're going to talk about is what are statistics. And then once we kind of talk about what statistics are, we're going to be talking about what the mean is of a data set. Then lastly, I'm going to give you guys an assignment. You're going to go to quizzes, put in this code. We'll do that later though. So just a good idea of what we're going to be looking at. So what are statistics? You could record numbers for a lot of things. Pardon me, guys. So we can take a lot of numbers, put them together, but if we look at a big bunch of numbers, we don't really know what they mean. So it's how we can organize numbers and how we can make sense of those numbers. Whittle it down to maybe one number that really represents what's going on. And, Mr. Randall, I always talk about making sense of your answer. Well, all of this is making sense, so Mr. Randall's pretty excited. Looking at a couple of examples, batting average. What is the possibility of you getting a base hit? Average rainfall, pretty important. Pretty important if we look at what's going on with our climate nowadays. Or when we're watching YouTube and Netflix. The people that create that content want to know what's popular, what's not, so they can stop doing stuff that's not popular, do more of what is popular. A good representation is the average amount of time someone watches a video until they leave. So that, again, statistics. Maybe 1,000 people watch a video. Well, we got to see the average number, how long the average person watches. So when we look at averages, that's really what a mean is, right? But 1 second here. Let's take a look here. A data set. Really all that a data set is just a group of numbers. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, that would be an example of a data set. Okay? So, data set, just a group of numbers. Mean, just the average. So if you have an idea of what the word average means, you have a good idea what the word mean means. So, if we look here, if every number in the set could have the same, let's not say number, let's say value. Ugh. That is not pretty, but value right there. So, if we're going to do that, we need to have every one of these rectangles right here have the same number of blue dots in them. And again, if you look, this represents our data set up here. So, what we're going to be doing is we want the same number in each rectangle. So why don't we take all these out and just put them in a big group? And if we do that, what operation do you think we are using? Well, now I just have a big group of things right here. How many are in there? Well, if we ask how many, you would think we got to add them all up, which is correct. So we take them, add them all up, and then I want to divide this group that I just circled evenly into these 5 groups. Well, again, that would be division then. I'm dividing this into these groups right here. So now what I'm doing is I'm going to take them and divide them up evenly. So I'm dividing them up evenly, just like this. Well, if you can look at this, I don't know, I always have to do this. This would kind of be a little painful to do every day or for every problem. But if we divide that evenly, there's going to be 3. There's going to be 3 in each box. So this data set right here, the average is 3. Okay, and if there's anything that I want you guys to take away from this is add, and this is what I have circle starred, highlighted, underlined, whatever you got to do. Add all the numbers up, then divide by how many numbers there are. Okay. That is how we find the mean. So again, add them all up, divide by how many there are. So let's look at this example. Mr. Randall scored the following on his math test. So here I did a 98, 87, 72, 193. Okay. Oh, going back here, guys, real quick. The best way that I've always remembered to do a mean is it's mean of Mr. Randall to expect me to add all these numbers up and then divide them. Because if we look at a data set like this might be a little difficult to add up all together. Or what if there were 20 numbers in this set? That'd be painful. So again, it's mean of Mr. Randall to expect me to do that. But, so looking at this example. Mr. Randall scored the following on his math test. 98, 87, 72, 193. Find the mean of Mr. Randall's scores. But, yeah. So, all I'm doing is I'm adding them up. So, 98 plus 87 will get us 185. Plus 72 will get us 257 I mean. Plus 103, 57. And plus 93 will get us to 450. 450. But now I have to divide by how many there are. So we look, I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So I take that, divide by 5, and I'll get what? What do we think we get? So we type it in. Divided by 5, we'll get 90. But, and this is kind of the big difference that I was talking about if we look at what a mean and median is. This number, what if, for example, let's say I scored a 0 on a test, on the 6th test. Well, my score would still be 450, but now I've added a 6th test here. So instead of dividing by 5, now I'm divided by 6. Instead of having a 90, which would be an A, what will I have? So I'll have, divide by 6, I'll actually have a 75 now. Not only does this show the importance of your guys' grades, or even one test, but also how I dropped 3 letter grades from an A in college to a C in college because of one test that I got a 0 on. Okay, so we'll look at this. This is the difference between what a mean and median is. But for right now, all we're doing is taking these numbers, these 6 numbers right here, add them up, dividing by how many, and that's our average, or also our median. So, what I want you guys to do is, if you didn't look at my answer already, I want you guys to do this problem, and then pause it, and then check your answer with me. Okay, so I'll give you guys a second here, pause it. Okay, so let's do this problem now. Let's add them all up. So we're going to put a little addition signs between all of them, at least. So we're going to add them all up. So we have 18. Then we add 34. We'll have 52. Plus 13, 65. Plus 37 will get us to 102. Plus 42 will get us to 144. And then plus 36 will get us to 180. Okay, so we have 180 from this. But we also need to divide by how many numbers are in our set. So we look, we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. We're going to take 150 divided by 6. What do you think we're going to get? We're going to get 30. 30 is going to be your answer for that data, for finding the mean of that data set. And really, guys, that's just what a mean is. We're going to talk about median tomorrow. But for right now, all we're doing is we're adding them up, dividing by how many there are. And that is our mean. All right.